Hello, Canada. Welcome back to another edition of the Canadian Citizen Journal. I'm your host, alias Tagai. Well, we got a few things we're going to go through here today. It looks like the tariffs on wood, the lumber, and milk is going to hit us right away. And I would assume that that has a lot to do with the fact that Canada is being a bunch of goofballs gaslighting, taking American liquor off the shelves. Not like it really hurts the States, but I think it's just the principle of the matter. And you don't poke the bear. Let's start off with Trump and some more tariffs.
The Canadian representatives.
U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening new tariffs on Canadian lumber and dairy products.
Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs.
The products were his latest targets on Friday, in a tariff saga that has given investors, businesses, and consumers whiplash. Just the day before, he suspended tariffs of 25% on most goods from Canada and Mexico, tariffs that he had imposed earlier in the week. Trump has said that reciprocal tariffs would be implemented on April 2nd instead, to equalize any duty rates between the three countries. Under the 2020 U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement on trade that he negotiated and signed, there are almost no tariffs on products crossing North American borders. Canada's high tariffs on dairy products to protect farmers is among the few exceptions.
They make it impossible for us to sell lumber or dairy products into Canada.
There are multiple other Trump tariff actions in play. Next Wednesday, Trump's administration will effectively raise tariffs on steel and aluminum. This will heap more duties on imports from Canada and Mexico, the biggest foreign suppliers of the metals. Canada's industry minister says that Ottawa's having a hard...
Yeah, they're having a hard time keeping up to it. Well, can't blame them. We got a completely dysfunctional government as it is anyways. And Trudeau's probably underneath his bed, sucking his thumb, still crying. So we're going to move on. Check this out. This just went on in the BC Conservatives.
Of the BC Conservative caucus devolved into a shouting match, exposing more divisions within the official government opposition over residential schools. Things got so heated, some MLAs stormed out, according to some people inside the meeting. One of the issues is a video which features Conservative Attorney General critic Dallas Brody. Brody appeared on a podcast which was posted on YouTube earlier this week. In it, Brody slammed her Conservative colleague, Alia Warbus, saying she's aligned with the NDP.
There's a person in our party who's Indigenous, and she, was super angry and went to town and joined the NDP to call me out. We've actually brought in some people who, I'm just going to say this, I think belong in the NDP.
This after Warbus criticized Brody over her social media post about the former Kamloops Indian Residential School, which First Nations leaders said amounted to residential school denial. Warbus, a member of the Stolo First Nation, says Brody is causing a distraction for the party in the midst of a trade war and record budget deficit.
She can't admit the truth. This is the sad part. And instead of being honest with people, she's trying to carry this narrative. If you want to lie, if you want to gaslight, then go join the NDP, because that's the NDP and Liberals. That's what they do. They lie, they create hate, they create division. I'm terribly sorry. No bodies were found. Tell the truth. Without the truth, we can't move forward.
And that's what she wants to go marching out to stand for is abhorrent to me and is causing division, and we need to address the division within the caucus and get on the same page as a team. And if we cannot do that, then I do not know why I came here.
The head of the Métis Nation of BC reached out to CBC News to say he met with Brody after the initial social media post and outlined the harm it caused. Walter Minot, whose grandparents attended residential school, says Brody apologized. Upon seeing the latest video, however,
I was appalled. I was devastated.
He called for Brody to be removed from caucus.
I'd just like to state to Rustad and his party to let them know, how hurtful these comments are, to all our people out there. They should be calling for her resignation.
It's unclear if Rustad will do that. Brody declined to speak to media today. This is just the latest dust-up inside the BC Conservative Party, a coalition of longtime Conservatives and more centrist MLAs who joined the party following the collapse of BC United. Despite Rustad insisting free speech is good for a political party, it's increasingly causing these internal divisions that spill into the public eye.
This is denialism. Yes, it may be hurtful, but you know what? You have to deal with it and you have to move on. Everybody knows there's atrocities that happen to them. In fact, the Canadian government is still doing it. I just dropped this here. Actually, it was a report from a Rebel reporter, Tamara. They were still doing this. They're testing vaccines on children without the parents' consent up north. This is appalling. Let's talk about the truth of the evil of the government and stop gaslighting people. I'm sorry, no bodies were found. Not that there still might not be. That could very well be true. But if we don't have the proof, quit gaslighting. It's not helping the matter. You want the money to do it? You want the people behind you to do it? Then make sure the truth is out there. Make sure that everybody's on board with it, with the reality, and quit lying. Just quit lying. It's not a hard thing to do. This happened as well in Markham. Two shot and one dead.
At 6:30
Family
a.m.,
dog killed.
we received reports of shots fired inside a home on Solace Road. When officers arrived, 2 adults were located suffering from gunshot wounds. A dog was also located and was shot and is deceased. Both victims were transported to a trauma center, and one victim has since been pronounced deceased, and the other victim remains in serious but not life-threatening condition. 2 suspects were seen fleeing the residence and entering a newer model 4-door black Acura TLX.
How many times previously has this house been targeted?
5 times.
And
What time frame?
So it goes back until 2018, with 3 incidents occurring last year alone.
Do RRP have any dash cam or house video that they've already released related to this house in the past?
So we did release a video last year of one of the incidents that should be on our YouTube channel, yes. I can confirm that this house has been targeted multiple times in the past. What makes this incident more concerning, though, is that the shooting occurred within the home, whereas previous incidents occurred where shots were fired at the house from a distance.
So in other words, it was an assassination. They've been trying for a while to hurt these people, and they finally succeeded. This is really sad what Canada's turning into under this new Trudeau, this post-national state that he's thrown us all into. Sam Cooper dropping some bombs. Another reporter who's following him threw some more information his way about trade-based money laundering and the fentanyl crisis. Excuse me. And this is the guy they're talking about right here. This is the one that Trudeau met with, Paul King-Jing. And he met with him during Trudeau's first term. I think he's a donor with a few other people. So fair enough, a good reporter is following my work. Kudos. Trudeau met with Paul King-Jin in his first term as Prime Minister alongside Mr. Jin, who moved to Canada from China in 1989, was Rongzing Tiger Wan, a Chinese army veteran. Both of these people are either CCP related or definitely we know are trafficking in fentanyl and money laundering. Let's get on to Carney here. This is crazy. This is going to be the dictator, the replacement dictator of the Liberal Party.
What's your name?
Why? Your name? Why are you asking?
I'm police. I'm RCMP. I'm covering this for
okay,
this
sorry.
reasons.
Am I doing something wrong?
I'm just asking. What's your name?
Where I'm registered.
This. Do you have invite with you?
I'm sorry?
It is only the invitation. Do you have the invite?
I can't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying this function is only by invite. Do you have?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I'm registered. Well, I have the stamp, and I register at the desk.
Sorry, I'm asking a few questions.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Carney event.
A little bit lighter.
Waiting for Mark Carney to come out. Oh, what happened? What did I do?
All these RCMP should be fired. Every one of
I
them.
haven't done anything. I'm just standing here waiting for Mark to come out. Oh, what did I do? I registered. That's sad.
Look how full it is, people. What I told you about CBC cameras. They'll gather everybody all up at the front, get them all in.
I guess I'm being escorted out.
All is packed, and there's only like 40 people there, 25 people there. Plus, the bought and paid for propaganda media, CBC.
Okay. Okay.
Who isn't talking about this right now? They won't. They won't talk about it. It's against their paychecks.
Over there.
You're making me go all around? I'm gonna go there. The front doors. My vehicle's over there. Wow, this is what you get at a liberal function. I did nothing wrong. Look at all the sad liberals coming in. Unbelievable. I'm unwanted in here. I am unwanted. I just got escorted out.
Everybody there, those are all reporters and journalists that they kicked out. Welcome to the transparency of a dictatorship, people. Isn't this ridiculous?
I know, I didn't even get a chance to see him.
In front of thousands of Liberal Party members. Myself and some other independent journalists from Rebel News and Kareem Assad, who is also an independent journalist, attended this event thinking that we'd be able to talk with Liberal Party members and potentially even ask Mark Carney some questions. Who is running to become the next Liberal leader and Prime Minister of Canada? However, we were not greeted with friendly greetings, to put it lightly. We were actually kicked out of the event. Myself, I was told that I was not a accredited news source, and so I was evacuated out by some of the Carney team's members. And they told me that while I was not an accredited journalist, I could apply for accreditation, although I did apply for accreditation several hours before attending the event and received no response. Rebel News and Kareem Assad and a few other independent journalists also received the same cold treatment. Carney is set to become the next Liberal leader on March the 9th if polls are correct, and will be sworn in as Prime Minister shortly after. Noah Jarvis,
So
True North.
welcome to Canada, people. This is what it's come to. How embarrassing can it possibly be? And this is the person that the media is trying to help put in the Liberal seat. This is how corrupt the system is. It is so embarrassing. It is absolutely so embarrassing. So I'm going to be heading even further into the bush. And hey, Blabbermouth Dougie, the only reason it's possible is because I have a Starlink, idiot. Like most Canadians, there's no access available up there, and the government gave the wrong billions of dollars to a company that doesn't even have a satellite in space that is part of Carney's crew. So you can just shove it where the sun don't shine. I probably will not have an episode tonight, but I will be back tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And if you are, punch that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, you've been watching the Canadian Citizen Journal, and I'm your host, Alias Tagay.